Welcome once again to the 2024 PDGA Junior Disc Golf World Championships presented by Innova. We are back here in Tulsa, Oklahoma for this PDGA Major Day 2. Things are heating up, the temperature's cooling down, but the action isn't. Ace Run Productions bringing you this coverage once again in the booth. Felix Vega joined by the world record distance holder, Jennifer Allen.
Welcome back, everybody, to Day 2. Yeah, a little bit of rain moved in over the night. We got about 4 to 5 inches, but this course really not affected too much. Besides, once the sun comes out, it might get a little steamy.
Yeah, conditions something to keep an eye on here as we have some varying weather conditions moving throughout the day here. There we take a look at our round 1 leaderboard after one round over at the Twin Bridges course. Switching over to Hunter Park here, and we're going to start things off with a par 3 at 335 feet here at Hunter Park.
Yeah, I had the opportunity of announcing the women all day, and the common mistake that I continue to see is just not getting the nose angle down as you enter the trees here. So catching those trees was a common mistake. Very hard to get that drive to stay in the middle to approach this basket that's tucked over kind of a little to the left.
FJ18 130 tee time. Starting off, we have Virginia Polkinghorne from O'Fallon, Missouri.
Familiar looking starter there on hole 1.
I had to use my loud voice. I tell you what, it's nerve-wracking making sure that you pronounce all these kids and towns exactly like they want them. That was pretty stressful. So Virginia starting out here, hitting the gap perfectly. And for those of them that did hit the gap, it was still very difficult to, like I said, keep that disc staying in the middle.
Trinity Bryant from Callahan, Florida.
Trinity, no stranger to us as we've been to New World multiple times, and she is a regular out there, always putting in the work. If you follow her social media, she's progressed so much in the last couple of years in her game. It's really fun to watch her bloom.
And she has a little bit of knowledge on the bag with Eliezer coming out to help her this week.
Getting a little early kick to the right there.
Next on the box, Rebecca Dawn from Westport, Canada. Woo!
Saw Rebecca have a very strong round the first day out here.
Yeah, the women at Twin Bridges were just putting on a putting clinic for everyone. So I'm excited to watch them tackle a brand new course that's quite a bit different than what Twin Bridges offers.
Rounding out this group, we have Allison Menchaca from Stockton, California.
Another new face to the card today as we've had some change-ups after round 1.
Always a little bit of nerves, you know, starting the first day, really getting after that first drive from that excitement to be here.
Virginia just short of the creek here.
And that's a great spot to land to approach the basket. I would have to guess this hole was not birdied.
You would be maybe
Did someone throw it in?
We'll have to wait and see. There's still maybe a look here. We did miss Trinity's upshot. Had a little bit of a camera glip there, but she is up near the green now.
Yeah, this is a hard one. I would even say, you know, these are kind of my old stomping grounds. So this one was always a hard one to get, even for us playing the professional divisions. Allison kind of rushing that one a little bit, trying to shake off the nerves.
And for the bogey there. And you were correct. No bogeys on hole 1 during round 2.
No birdies.
Oh, no birdies. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say, this was a tough one.
Yeah.
I remember, you know, just mentally telling myself, we're going for par.
Yeah.
You know, try not to give back one stroke already.
Just under half the field getting the par. Played .63 above par. So a difficult starting hole for the ladies.
Yeah. These first several holes are in the trees. Hitting the gaps kind of like Twin Bridges, but then we're going to open up past that. If I remember correctly, these were cut in by Kevin McCoy mid 2000s.
Oh, so they've been around for a while.
Hole 2, we have 376 feet. This is a par 4, so you're gonna want that first shot to land somewhere around here, trying not to get too far off left or right. Then you're gonna try to make it across this little dip here where we find our basket. You're gonna see a lot of trying to land the disc in the right spot. You're gonna hit anything and either take a big skip or roll, hitting one of the tree roots.
That tersus, that mid-range that Virginia's been throwing, that one clips the tree and gets kicked left side. There's different ground here too. Like some of the sand is soft and some of it's hard pan.
It is. It's a very awkward ground play at times.
Trinity a little wide of the initial gap.
Yeah, this tee shot is very difficult. Kind of one that I would have the tendency to start on the left side and try to play it. That's a beautiful line right there by Rebecca. But sometimes if you don't really try to force the turnover and take it more of a straight line shot, you'll hit that gap a little better. Allison hitting it great, getting a little bit of help there from the tree, kicking it back towards the middle. It was hyzering to the left.
Are you going more stable there off of that tee shot or something more neutral?
No, something neutral. I think I used to throw an old beat up T-bird, just trying to ride it straight, really not trying to get a lot of distance, even like Virginia did, dropping down to a mid, because this is where you don't want to end up is by a TP, because you never know. Depends which tribe you are out here. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, we have several amazing tribes. Yeah, so again, really watching your disc selection, making sure you're not picking something too stable that's going to go back into the trees. Trinity's going to have a look.
This one hyzering out a little early, a little too high there out of the hand.
That's her Toro. Yeah, if she would have kept that down a little bit lower, I think she could have penetrated just a few more feet forward. I talked to her sister, who was here with her, walking quite a bit through the round, and that forehand is a shot she is definitely really working into play recently.
Okay. Allison fighting her way through the gap there to have a look.
It is amazing, though, to see these kids working both forehand and backhand, developing all skills so young.
Virginia going to have a look from there as well. This is Trinity's third here, trying to get up and down for the par.
You see the little sandy ground there.
Yeah. Ooh, wow.
So close. Gotta love those little soft up and over putts. So that is Joey. That is her brother-in-law, or yes, brother-in-law in the bag.
Okay. Just a little left there out of the hand for Allison, but it sits down nicely.
And sometimes it's difficult to putt out of a sandy pit like that. Your feet kind of slide around, but Virginia having no problem.
Continuing the solid putting that we saw from her from round one.
And Trinity tapping in that one for par, which is a great score on this hole. These first couple holes are very difficult. I would say the first four really challenging off the tee. So going for par on these holes is a great plan.
Yeah, the first four holes all playing above par. All right, we are here at hole 3, another par 3, 285 feet, tight one.
Very tight, and not only is it tight, but you have all of the foliage as well. So really having to maybe disc down to a slower speed that's going to hold that straight line, because the basket is just directly in front of the tee pad. Not a lot of extra room to work with there.
No, definitely not, especially this time of year. I would imagine the wintertime you maybe can get lucky.
Yeah, you can maybe punch through a little bit more, but it definitely makes it feel very small when all the leaves are on the trees. Oh, what a beautiful shaping shot from Virginia.
Held that turn.
It did. That got it a little extra glide. She's going to be long of the basket outside circle 1. And sometimes that's difficult when you're, learning your disc and learning your distances, and you go from a long hole to a short hole. Both of these girls so far, wow, that is an incredible drive. Beautiful shot by Trinity, dialing in the distance perfectly.
Becca needs a little bit more right out of this, and it's going to drift left.
Hopefully she'll find a small gap to punch all the way towards the basket. But these women did a great job of really trying to work that disc off the tee pad left to right.
Allison hit one of the Guardians there.
Yeah, needing to kind of change the angle and make that a turnover putt. Nice out.
Finds the window there.
Virginia with a little patent pending. Gonna toss it up and over.
A couple more inches over, it might have gone in.
I was gonna say that tossing out almost was a great look. There's a solid putt.
Centers that one.
And sometimes it's not just the difficulty of like having the pressure of the cameras, but just playing with new girls. I think this was the first time Allison said she had played with a few of these girls. A couple of great pars and an excellent birdie by Trinity.
Yes, it is.
Right, the last tough wooded shot out. This is 240 feet, par 3. Again, picking which very small gap that you would like to take to get past this row of last trees, where we find the basket, which is on the edge of a cliff.
Not intimidating at all.
Not at all. I'm sure that creek is possibly OB behind there.
It is.
Okay, I was like, I don't see any flags, but that typically is OB.
After the great birdie, Trinity on the box, taking this right side.
And she hits it exactly like she needed to. Back-to-back beautiful drives on these very tight, demanding shots.
Virginia looking to follow that same line on the right side. A little bit more stable of a disc, and it cuts in early into the trees.
Yeah, and it's hard to fully follow through when there's just this tiny little gap. But if you don't fully commit, Rebecca looking to have a really good follow through there, but that's what you really have to hit the line. And it's scary, so you try not to let it follow all the way through, but there Allison shows us that's what it takes to go through.
Oh, but she's gone too far, and that's going to be out of bounds.
Yeah, she has so much power, and it's, her game is adapting and changing, so trying to learn how to manipulate that disc a little more.
It's hard to find yourself not trying to guide the disc through the gap versus throwing it through the gap.
Well, and just the amount of skill and how many, juniors in all divisions this week. It's incredible to see just the major growth in 1 year. Even Eliezra was saying, the talent that is here this year compared to last year is incredible.
Layup there for Rebecca, so she's going to be looking at a bogey. That one sails, but gets stopped by the trees.
Thank you, Tree.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tree. That was such a confident putt to really go for that from such a long distance.
A little wide there for Allison. Still trying to shake off the jitters a bit here. Now has this death putt coming back and nails it.
She's solid with those bogey putts.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling some birdies and pars are going to be coming back.
And Trinity with another birdie here. 2 holes in a row to get things going. She's all smiles.
And it's nice having someone like a best friend on the bag to keep you settled.
Virginia with the bogey there after clipping a couple of trees early on this hole.
Virginia likes to carry her own. Spoke to her mom a little bit. She says we are told and instructed to stay away.
Moving on, hole 5, and 240 feet as well, but a different look on this par 3.
Yeah, you can, take full confidence on going right over this OB creek and trying to cut through that very small gap to find the basket. Or if you want to play it safe, you can go around the outside, not bringing that OB creek into play. So a couple different ways you can attack hole number 5.
A lot of guardian trees there by that green.
Yeah, and they're big, so there's harder to sneak by those really large trees.
Trinity going right at it. And clips, but stays safe just past the OB line there.
Tucked in the cedar.
Yeah.
It's funny, this might have been a little more thick back in the day because I remember a lot of us taking that left around path, but these girls just attacking this right up the middle. This was one of the fun courses we used to play for our Oklahoma State championships back in the day.
Beautiful shot there by Rebecca, the little hyzer flip up the left side.
Needing that to get stable.
Clips to cedar, but that one also lands safely across the creek. That's awkward patent pending here.
Yeah, just outside circle 1. And that's hard sometimes when you're so close to get such a drastic turn like that. Trinity having a little more room to work with, but getting caught up on one of those tall cedar branches reaching out there. So Virginia with a great open look. Just a hair low, yeah. And it is about, probably almost 20 degrees cooler today. And at the moment, there is some pretty dark clouds. We really thought we might have a weather delay, some rain moving in. It is holding off, but these temps are still very hot with the humidity.
Yeah, we actually had to delay some of the start times on the other pools because of rain earlier in the morning that cleared up, thankfully, by the time that we teed off. But yeah, once that humidity starts to go up, it sneaks up on you. Trinity able to navigate the par there. The first hole that's played under par, just barely under par.
Had to get out of those trees.
Yeah. Moving right along to hole 6, 250-foot par 3. Another shorty, but definitely has some teeth.
Yeah, it's nice and flat over this little area, which right there is not OB, but the creek is to the right. Going to be have an OB line over there. Little bit of an incline right as you approach the basket with these 3 guardian trees, and you can see the ground is very uneven. So having to watch how your disc lands is pretty important.
We've seen Rebecca throw that purple disc quite a bit already.
Yeah, and I didn't really look into her bag too much.
I'm going to be a little bit short.
I did learn that they have 170 acres back in Canada.
Wow.
And their entire family plays. She is one of, 5 or 6 girls. They all play, and they are putting in a course on their property.
Oh, that's amazing. Virginia going higher on the right side, looking to hyzer in.
Yes, I love the flight pattern she took on that. Hopefully staying there with a putt between those 2 trees.
More direct line for Allison, looking to get some skip, and does.
It is amazing she got that big of a skip with that thick grass. Not really able to mow with fun little squirrels playing, getting in on the action.
Oh, still running around the green there.
It didn't even phase her. Like, she didn't even pause for him. And tracking right towards the basket, just getting caught up on that right side.
I thought that tree on the right might affect her putt. She's got a slight hyzer putt.
And it still somehow missed on the right side.
Yeah. Virginia looking for the birdie here. Just a touch high. You can see the footing here, the trees, the unevenness. There's a lot going on this green that adds to the difficulty of this hole.
Yeah, and you would think it's just such a simple little 250-foot hole, but
you see Trinity
an
trying to figure
unusual,
out.
yeah, a very unusual. You don't see a green like this very often, and having to maneuver around so much and weird footings and wondering how your disc is going to hit the ground. Allison definitely not settling in.
Yeah.
And may or may not have tried to give her a little pep talk after that one. Mama Jen has to watch after her little girls out here.
Par there for Virginia. Trinity will look to take the same. So not quite as crisp as we saw from round one from this.
No,
this
I think the
card.
fatigue is already catching up just a little bit.
And we got a long one here, 340 feet for this par 3 here, hole 7.
Always a fun hole. You have to decide if you want to take the shot out here to the left, which is more open, but then you're going to have to get it to turn there at the end back to the right. Or you can take the direct hyzer line, kind of sneak it in. It brings in a lot more trees along the right side. But with that right-hand backhand shot, it is a little easier to attack the basket. But I love how this hole offers both ways. So you can see the hyzer line here.
Pushing that right side.
Yep, and the trees and the leaves and branches definitely come into play on this side.
Good line there for Trinity too. 340's pushing the boundaries there of this division. It's a long one to get, especially on a sustained hyzer.
Right, and that's where they have to learn that you don't have to go for birdie on every hole.
Yeah.
Stay within what you can achieve and do.
Oh.
That one was looking great, getting that turn, and that's how you're going to get that little bit more distance, is taking that left side, getting a little more flight on the disc. Allison really trying to do some work and catch up, so really trying to put a little distance on it. And that's totally fine out there. She's going to have a shot around the trees. I can remember a lot of people even just playing over to the left to pitch over, not really even attacking it.
Yeah. And this is not out of bounds. The creek is playing as casual, so she just takes her relief back and puts it right under the basket.
Yeah, a little extra water from the rain, so that one is typically dry. Leaving a little bit left on that putt. Hopefully Allison can start hitting some of these and get moving. Very smart play.
Trinity floats that one a little shorter than I'm sure she would have liked. Has this left for her par.
No problem.
Cleans it up nicely.
I like how she's a very soft putt that still has good spin on it. Decreases those spits and how far you're going to pass the basket.
A solid putt there for Allison. And shout out Katana Taylor, the only birdie on the day on this hole.
Wonder how long the putt was.
Doesn't say.
Come on, where's our stats?
All right, we come to our second par 4 of the day. 450 feet here on this hole number 8.
Yeah, pretty difficult hole. You're going to want to play it wide, try to get around all these branches. You can even stay on that right side the entire way down and then pitch over. If you do want to try to go a little more direct, it's going to bring in some low branches, so you're going to have to watch your height that you release the disc. Does make it a little shorter, but it's a 2-shot hole, so there's nothing wrong with playing it out around, staying away from all those trees. There's so much space to the right.
This is smashed.
Yeah, she gets by everything.
Wow.
It was such a beautiful drive.
I haven't even impressed Eliezer in the back who was watching. Trinity right around that last set of trees there. Trinity gonna get caught up maybe? Just squeaks through. She said she was dealing with some shoulder stiffness or tenderness throughout the round, so.
I would have to imagine that these girls put in a lot of practice.
Yeah.
And so when you practice for a really strong couple of weeks, beautiful long distance from Allison there, then by the time the tournament rolls around, you're sore and tired.
Mm-hmm. And it's what, 4 courses they had to practice too, which is, it's a lot.
Tulsa has so many courses. That's one thing I missed about moving away.
A little deep.
Yeah, that downslope behind the basket really does sneak up. Get you a little more distance than you prefer. I think Tulsa has like 20 courses really close in the area, like not very far apart.
Yeah,
so
lots of choices.
So many choices to play. So I think they really tried to give these kids a lot of options and show off the entire city.
Yeah. Good approach there for Allison. Rocking out.
So this is for Eagle. Gonna toss it up, get it nice and close for the, hopefully just tap in birdie there.
Yeah. Ooh.
So close. Just a hair high. I mean,
Yeah.
she's given them a very strong bid.
Oh,
That was
come
dirty.
on.
That was just dirty. She needed that to really start to feel positive.
Yeah.
And she did nothing wrong with that putt.
Trinity coming back. She'll have a drop in left for her par.
Excellent birdie.
That brings Rebecca to 1 under for the day, 4 under overall. Tap in par there for Virginia as well as Trinity. And a par to close it out. 1 hole left on the front 9. And here it is, a hard one to close out. 365-foot par 3 with danger all around.
Yeah, this is another one. You're going for par because you're throwing over this OB creek right here. So hitting any of those branches is gonna have a high risk of dropping that disc over into the creek. Gonna try to shoot over there, hyzer along the right side. This is a non-OB creek, the feeder creek into the large creek. That is safe if you do go long. So the big turnover is more open, but again, brings in that OB tree. So a little safer way to go is there, as Rebecca showed us, through the middle. So Trinity trying to take that turnover line, but cuts it in just a little too hard. She's gonna stay safe up on the top. There's another one trying to go on the outside, and
Fights through.
the leaves are just thick right now.
Yeah. Allison left side as well.
Yeah, and she was actually trying to go on the inside. So again, angle control, turning the angle, adjusting on the tee pad. If you're not going along the outside, I mean, completely miss it. Don't give yourself any shot of landing into that creek. So now trying to get her shot to get up there to save par. Unfortunately, she's going to be pretty far back.
This looks a little fluffy. That's not going to get there. Throwing putter maybe could have gone a little bit faster of a disc to get there.
Yeah, I think these girls got stuck into that weird range where like, man, will my putter get there? Is the mid-range going to go too far? And so sometimes you just get in those distances that is in between 2 discs for you.
Yeah.
Perfectly done by Virginia. So it was kind of the same thing for Rebecca here. She tried to do a little soft touch
Whoa.
forehand with the Toro, and it was one of those, then she should have probably dissed down to the putter. It was just weird little spot for these girls kind of in between their distances. And they don't know their own strength.
Yeah. So same disc again for Trinity, dialing it down, and this time right under the baskets.
Great touch, though. She looks like she's played catch quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, she's always out there with her siblings, too, playing, so.
And that was such a good bid from really down low in the creek. So an unfortunate double bogey for Allison with that OB stroke.
Different body language today on these girls. Rebecca looks a little bit more worn down.
Yeah, the sun's popping out.
Yeah.
And this thick grass is hot.
Solid par there for Virginia.
And that's a good way to finish out this front nine. It's a very difficult course for these girls. They're doing a great job, but definitely getting a little tired there. Can't even get the disc out of the basket.
Yeah, closing out on a hard one too. That one playing .84 over
Wow.
par on the day with 0 birdies. And there you see our front nine results so far for this lead card.
Allison having a little bit of trouble. Hopefully she picks it up on the back nine. Thank you so much for joining us at Hunter Park.